Hello, welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you doing today? Not too bad on this end, not too bad. This whole summer, my house has been driving me nuts. And not just the family room or the living room, or just, okay, specifically just everything has been driving me nuts. And it's been a little chaotic. Our lives have been chaotic, and I just don't like it. I'm going back to simple. It may take me years, but I'm going back to simple. And so I started with my bedroom, and I totally ripped apart like my dresser drawers, the closet. I mean, I got half the closet left because that's his side, but you know what I mean? Like deep dive, cleaned out the corners, cleaned out this, pulled out this, everything that I knew I wanted to get rid of. And so I've been going through three ways to do it. The first one is it sentimental? Is it sentimental, but you, on the side of, here's a lei, like a lei, you know, from a luau that was at my mom's. We did this summer holiday bash. Okay, it's like a family reunion. It's from there. It's not from Hawaii. Okay. Is it important to be hanging on my dresser collecting dust? No. There is jewelry I don't wear. Books. Okay, all these things. And it was great. Okay, and I have in my mind, I have all these things in my house that I'm getting rid of, but I'm not going to go pull them out and then get rid of them because it seems, you know, problematic, as far as I'll just have a bigger mess all over instead of just one concentrated mess. And so the other thing was, I went and I started shredding letters. Like, I have high school letters from everybody. And I decided I don't need to save boxes of letters. Now, nowadays, kids don't even understand to delete a message or delete a person. You know, I mean, you did the fancy folds. There had to be at least 3 or 4 different ways to fold a letter to make it smaller so you could just pass it, you know. Harder to get into also, you know. So yeah, it was pretty cool, but I was just shredding. I'd read a couple and I'd shred. I have 2 bags, 2 garbage sized bags of shredded letters. I shredded everything from high school. Why I still had it, I don't know. But it was pretty crazy and very therapeutic on the other side. There were some letters I did keep just because I wasn't ready to read them, like from stuff from my mom and my dad and my grandparents and an aunt that had died, or she's my godmother, and you know, stuff like that. And I just like put it back in the box, and that's for another day, right? But it's amazing how therapeutic that was, just doing that. And my room's not done, but I was talking to one of the sisters from our parish, and we had a great talk, and one of the things was about sentimental things and how they can actually overtake your life. Oh, the other thing is, so for decluttering, number 2 is, would I buy it again? If I'm not going to buy it again, what do I have it here for? Like, do I really love it, that I use it, that I want it? You know, like my coffee cup, would I buy this again? I didn't buy it, but yes, I would. You know, so that type of thing. You know, and 3, do you actually use it? Kitchen gadgets, I think, are the most extensive things that, you know, a person has. And if you use it once every 5 years, is it really necessary? Can you get away with using something else instead? So those are my things I'm thinking of when I'm looking through all this stuff. But yeah, it's been very amazing. And the other thing this sister told me was, she says, give yourself a month to do this. She said, because, you know, I have the motivation now to do it. And she's like, but give yourself a month, like, per room. She said, because that way you're not set up for failure. You won't have the negative thoughts that I'm so overwhelmed and I have to hurry and get this done, right? And a month is a good thing. It's 2 Saturdays, it's a couple of evenings, it's, you know, a Sunday, whatever, you know, whatever works. And I'm ready. Like, yeah, so I've been slowly doing this, and if it doesn't have a home, it's going. It better be extra special, or it's taking a hike. Today we are doing a remake of one of my favorite soaps, just because I'll talk about it in the video. 3 things: be kind, be forgiving, be you. And let's go check out a remake of that 70s soap. Okay, I have this handy dandy little, it's a milk frother is what it is. But let me tell you, my neons always come out spotted because of just, they don't mix up very well. And so I actually bought this little thing, handy gadget that it is. I actually love it. And to mix my neons, to make sure my colors are incorporated so I don't have chunks of color. I could show you a couple bars. It's one I actually haven't shown you that I did this summer, and it's got these chunky chunks of orange neon, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. And so I decided, there's some things that are worth investing and worth having, and I actually use this quite a bit, so I call it a win-win. Yes, it's a little milk frother. I should have went through the colors while I was doing that, but I just forgot about it. So this is the 70s soap, the original 70s soap that I did way back when I actually started getting a little more daring with soaping, and it is a round bar. A round bar. I'll show it to you at the end. You tell me which one you prefer. But I wanted to make a square bar, like a typical bar. And so after mixing in my fragrance oil and the kale and clay and all the fun things that you put into the soap batter, then I get to start mixing in or making my layers, my oils. And for a rundown of the colors, there were a few changes, but that's okay. So I have neon purple. That was neon purple before. And this one is flotation. Nope, that's not flotation device. And this is just neon yellow from Nurture's Handmade. So is the purple. And the green is, this is radioactive from Mad Micas. And then the pink is magenta from Nurture's Homemade. And the orange is flotation device from Mad Micas. I have to think. It's I don't know what it is. And the blue is mermaid blue from Brambleberry. Did we mix the pink? Oh no, we talked about magenta. Sometimes I do voodoo. That was the original, was voodoo, was the pink, and grape ape was the neon purple. Way back. I'm out of grape ape. I really have to make an order at Mad Micas. And I have a bunch of micas in my cart. It's just that I have too many micas in my cart. Does anybody ever have that problem? Oh, yeah, all the fun things. I'm a color person. I love color. You wouldn't notice it some days, but in reality, I'm a color spirit. Yes. And I don't know, I guess I don't really look if they sell neon stuff, but I used to have a sweater that was that color yellow. I kid you not. And I had one that was that color pink. And they were so bright, it was really hard to wear. So and that was as a kid. Okay, and for the design to this, I decided to do the in the middle of the mold and keep pouring. I don't know what that's called. Right? But you've seen it. We've done a couple of them this way, and I just think it's a kind of a cool pour. And being as a square bar, I can't do the pull through like I normally do. I needed a way to get these colors to move, to get them to go, to get them to make some sort of design. I mean, there's tons of ways, right? Tons of ways. We could have just did a drop swirl. We could have done a in the bowl swirl. We could have, but I decided that this was the way I was doing it this time, was just down the mold. And as those colors start coming up, yeah, I pointed that out. I was really worried, how muddy are they? But You know, this is how I pour it. It's turned out great every time. I actually do. It works better when I do the funnel pour. You know, you put the funnel over the stick tool and, you know, count 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I found that a little bit more of a 3 to 4 count worked better than just, you know, like a longer count gave me better coverage, better colors, you know. But getting down to the end here, those colors are gorgeous. They're just so bright and fun and happy. And rhyme or reason, no rhyme or reason to how I pour these. Sometimes I pour them where they match. Sometimes I pour them where they're, you know, like warm colors first and cool colors second. And no, there's no rhyme or reason. I actually staggered them, hopefully that like the green's not by the blue, you know, so that they can't blend together, and the purple's not by the pink, so they can't blend together. Kind of a more distinctive differential between all the colors, as you can see. But isn't that cute on top? It is so cute. So pretty. And this scent is one of my favorites. Sometimes you'll see it on my website. It'll just say sparkling citrus, because that's kind of what it is. It's very beautiful, bright citrus notes. It's sunshine in a bar. Yes, that's how I classify it. And for the top, since I didn't want to drag colors and splatter, and I could have, I just decided to use the extra soap batter in some little molds, and I decided to do a similar pattern that I do with Angel's Orchard. I've never thought of using the fork on it, but hello Dolly, it sure makes it so much easier. I think my lines are a little bigger, but this would be really pretty. I have to do that one coming up. Some of my some are close to out of stock and they need to be redone. So that is my challenge for some October months. It's just doing them. Isn't that cute? That is so adorable. I just think they're adorable. And for the cut of this soap, look at that bar. Looks a little muddy. But it almost has to be, because you cannot, because of the slowness of the pour, how long it takes to do the pour, you almost need to have it, you know, there's going to be that little muddy edge. And because I used the wrong liner in my mold, yeah, it's the sides are a little wonky, but you won't notice that. No, because you won't notice. Well, yeah, you would on this one coming up. Yeah, you'd notice that it's a little off. But oh well, right? Who cares? And here are the bars. Woohoo! What can I say? They are spectacular. The only thing I could possibly do different, probably should, because isn't that funny? How the blue, yeah, is to double pour those colors, maybe make the lines a little thicker. Here are the bars right after I cut them, and here are the bars when they are totally cured. Stellar, right? Here's the original bar. Which is your favorite, the round one or the square? Well, it's a rectangle. But as always, I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by. I will see you next time. God bless.